Today, we become legends.
So the Year 10 show match at Worlds has revealed basically everything we need to know about the new Conquest map for Year 10, including the minimap. In this video, I'll be covering everything new on the map and all the features we saw in the show match. So here's the minimap. The first thing I noticed when it was showcased was how wide it is. This new map is thick with 5 Cs. Not only is the jungle area quite a bit wider with more pathways and more camps, which we'll get to in a bit, but even the lanes are quite a bit wider, allowing for more open play in the laning phase. The visuals look absolutely godlike. I put out a video a couple of hours ago saying the visuals looked okay but not great, but now that we've seen the entire map and players actually using it, the visuals are stunning. The foliage is amazing, Gold Fury Pit's gold horde is absolutely beautiful, and one thing I noticed is the flooring has been upgraded enormously. From the cobblestone pathways that wind through the jungle to the sandy floor of Duo Lane because it's right next to the beach, the floor materials are all different in different areas of the map, and it really adds to the atmosphere and makes the map much more cohesive. But back to the minimap, which is what most people care about, you know, the gameplay changes we're going to be seeing. We can see a ton of changes have been made to the overall layout of the map in Year 10. Firstly, jungle buffs. So the immediate thing you probably notice is that there are now 4 speed buffs on the map, 2 per team on each side. There's still a speed in the normal place it always has been, but there's an additional one where green buff used to be in Season 9. These 2 speed buffs can be picked up individually on 2 separate players, or they can be stacked on one player, the jungler obviously, for an even more powerful version. This could lead to some really interesting strats, and I wonder if when the meta develops we will see another role pick up one of those speed buffs at any point, or if it will simply be junglers stacking both speeds all the time. With secondary speed taking green buff spot on the duo side, green has now moved to the side of mid lane on duo lane side. This should actually make it a bit easier to collect as the support, since you won't have to go all the way to the back of the map, and supports often hover around mid after the first few minutes once they rotate out of duo lane, and the mid laner slash jungler can help the supports get that green buff without them having to roam too far. But with green being roughly in the place of red, though not quite in the same place, red has now moved to solo side, which gives a big concentration of buffs over on solo side, with speed, red and blue all being in that general area. This could be potentially huge for invids. With red and speed being so close to each other, we're likely to see the unleashed jungle camps that can be pulled to anywhere of the map and group up those buffs for both mid and jungle as a potential start to the match. But in terms of starts, the whole meta is going to be blown wide open. I have absolutely no idea what the meta start will end up being, along with all these geometry changes and the unleashed camps, all that kind of stuff. The 2 back camps on solo side are now just 1, but there is an additional harpy back camp on duo side now, in between purple, green and secondary speed. There are also roaming camps in the form of the Cyclops and the roaming harpies, which essentially circle the harpy camps on each side of the map. It seems like 2 will spawn at any one time, and they just circle the rocky area around the harpy camp. The Cyclops can be broken out of his chest in the jungle, which grants gold, and he starts roaming. On kill, it drops a buff area that increases movement speed for the team that runs through it. And finally, oracles have moved slightly. They are no longer directly in the Gold Fury pit, they're much closer to mid lane and basically an equivalent spot to mid camps from Season 9. That's all the camp changes, but there are of course the objectives, which are now much more open. Gold Fury and Fire Giant are now central in their respective pits. This will make the fights around these objectives and warding them fully also be significantly harder, requiring more wards to get full vision. This is also true of the jungle in general. There's more entranceways to lanes and more and narrower winding paths that will require more warding effort, and with the new shards you're less likely to have wards available, at least in the early game. In the lanes, we also now have the new Bastions, which are replacing the Trebuchet and Obelisk system. That whole system is gone now, and we have the Bastions, which are shields on the edge of the tier 1 towers, not on the tier 2 towers though. And these will be in all lanes, and they have their own HP bar. If you have pressure in lane, you can push and take these shields down, which grants you gold and weakens the enemy tower to reward pressure in lane. But that's pretty much everything about the map we saw in the show match. We'll have more info on this in the full patch note show on Wednesday the 18th, and I'll have a video out pretty soon covering the handful of new and reworked items we saw picked up in the show match as well. We didn't see all the new items by any means, but we did see a few and they looked really interesting. So I'll catch you guys in that one in a bit, and have a great day, and peace out you nerds.